Hello and welcome back to the Flourish Careers podcast. I'm Jen Smith, your host, and I'm here with another special behind the scenes bonus episode that I'm thrilled to share with you. And today we're talking all about synchronicities, or what I like to call divine winks. Now, you've heard me talk about this before, but I've been experiencing something over the last couple months that is just so notable, and I want to share it with you. Now, before I share this story, let's talk a little bit about synchronicity. Carl Jung is a Swiss psychiatrist, and he defined synchronicity. And he talks about it as a meaningful coincidence, events that are seemingly unrelated but occur in a meaningful way. They are coincidences that go beyond chance and suggest a more profound pattern or dynamic in the universe. Jung believed that synchronicities reveal this underlying order in the universe, the idea that it connects the external world with the internal world of the mind. Synchronicities are often explained or experienced as being very striking or surprising, and they leave a profound impact on those who experience them. Now, modern research in psychology and the study of consciousness has gone deeper into explaining and understanding synchronicities. So there's all these studies that suggest while synchronicities might seem supernatural or magical, they can often be explained by cognitive biases. So you might have heard of the frequency illusion. This is where you notice something and then you start to see it everywhere. But there's more to it. Some researchers have explored the idea that synchronicities could be tied to the collective unconscious. And this is also a concept that was introduced by Jung. So the theory says that synchronicities reflect universal symbols that resonate with our inner thoughts and feelings. Then you can take it even a step further and talk about quantum physics, which has introduced some really intriguing theories about synchronicities. You might have heard about The Secret, which goes into a little more detail about this. So for many, synchronicities are not just random occurrences, but they carry personal meaning and significance. They're signs or numbers or messages from the universe that guide us to a deeper understanding of our lives and our purpose. And I love seeing synchronicities. I look for them all the time. Sometimes they have meaning to them, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I can figure out a pattern, sometimes I can't, but it's very notable when you start to look for them. So let me tell you a little bit about my story and behind the scenes of what's been going on. So I'm working on a new secret project. I haven't really told anyone about it yet. It's something I've never done before. And honestly, I've talked myself out of it a million times. Just recently, I started talking about it and thinking about it in a more serious way. And there have been so many divine winks and synchronicities, it is just too powerful to ignore. And it's all centered around bees, bumblebees, and the letter B's. I've been seeing and hearing them everywhere. So it started this summer while I was outside, and this summer is when I really started to think about this new idea. I was outside and the bees seemed to be everywhere. It was to the point where their buzzing drove me back in the house. I was complaining about it and I didn't really think anything of it other than it was just a summer nuisance, and of course we know bees are a huge part of nature. They're pollinators. We need them around, but they were just annoying me. So then I went on a solo trip in August and I was at a lakeside cabin and there was a beautiful hydrangea tree. It was buzzing with hundreds and hundreds of bees. Just so happened that I was outside doing some brainstorming around this idea and I couldn't help but notice I've never seen so many bees in one place at one time. That same day, after doubting my project yet again, I have an oracle card and I drew a card for inspiration. And guess what? It had a bee on it, urging me to build out my idea. Then later that week, I opened up Instagram. I hadn't been on for a little while. I opened up Instagram, and the first thing that I saw was this heartwarming video of a lady saving a bee with a damaged wing. It was so cute, and it was just like the universe was sending me another message through these tiny creatures. The bee-themed coincidences didn't stop there. So now I started to talk a little bit more about this project, and I got into a coaching relationship with someone. And in our first call, I was really excited about this call. In our first call, I noticed an unusual number of words starting with bee. They were everywhere. There was all these bee words. And so I had mentioned it to this coach, and she actually the next day went to a coffee shop, and outside there was a chalkboard with a bee on it, and there was something related to bees. And so she took a picture and sent it to me. Then went on to a trip to New York City connected to this project. And I walked into a bookstore. So part of the New York City trip was I wanted to go on a mini bookstore tour of stores in New York City that I always see and I've never been to. So I walked into the first bookstore, Books Are Magic, and I couldn't believe it, but right on the counter, staring at me, was a book about bees. So of course, I had to buy the book. It was a really cute book about how important bees are in nature. Then after the New York City trip, I got home and I was making coffee in the kitchen, and this was in October. There was a bumblebee trying to get into our house. It was right outside the window, and it was trying to come in. Now, bees aren't really around that late in the year, especially here in Western New York, where it starts to get colder in October. Then on November 3rd, there was another bee climbing on my windowsill right next to my desk. I couldn't even believe this. I took a video of it because I didn't think anyone would believe me. It's so unusual to see them around that late in the year. And then to top it all off, my birthday comes around at the end of November. And my dad knew nothing of these bee synchronicities. And he gave me a birthday gift of all these teas from around the world. There was golden chai, Moroccan mint, aged Earl Grey, these delicious teas. And then at the very bottom of the bag, the gift bag, there was a clear plastic box. And in that box was a honeycomb, an actual honeycomb for me to add honey to the tea. Have you ever tried honey from a honeycomb? First of all, it's delicious. Second of all, who gives somebody a honeycomb as a gift? It was the most random but magical gift I had ever received. And so then I had to tell him the whole story about all of these bees and how they've been around me for so many months as I've been bringing this new project to life. And my dad is also going to be helping me a little bit with this new project, which was just such a fun connection. So needless to say, this entire journey with bees has been so notable. I've come to see the bee as almost like a spirit animal for this project. And so I did a little research, and I love what I heard about bees. It said that they are discreet, but highly inspiring and creative. They're pollinators and messengers, which resonates with the goal of spreading the message about heart-based career planning. They symbolize productivity, organization, a job well done, all things I aspire with this new endeavor. Bees are dedicated, responsible, they're tenacious. They're a reminder that the project I've been working on will bear its fruit. Their pollen and honey is known for medicinal properties, which represents healing and caring for your body and mind. Hashtag nourish to flourish. And most importantly, they encourage listening to your intuition and following your instincts. So I couldn't help but take all of this as a sign to continue moving forward with this project, which I promise I will reveal hopefully soon. I'm taking all these signs, these divine winks from the universe, as encouragement. And it's been really fun so far, especially with all of the synchronicities. And I can't wait to share more of this project with you when the time is right. So stay tuned for more updates, and thank you for joining me on this special bonus episode. Remember, sometimes the universe speaks in mysterious ways, like through the humble bumblebee. I encourage you to think about the synchronicities in your own life and what they might be telling you. So keep an eye out for your own divine winks. I'll be back on Wednesday with our regularly scheduled episode. Talk to you then.